Well, hello, No-Face. You don't happen to be a wayward soul, do you? What? Oh, no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by that. I was just, you walked into a place called the Wayward Souls Bar and Lounge. It's just a thing that I say to people. No, it doesn't mean anything. You must be new around here, eh? That's what I thought. Just arrived. I see. Well, lucky for you. First drink for our new arrivals is on the house. Yeah, can I get you something? Not a problem. You see, I'm also the bartender. Now, what'll it be, love? Oh, you're not sure? I like people like that. You know, I've got most of the basics that you'd find on any of the realms, really, but we've also got a few specialty cocktails that are just, you know, unique to this place. See, the great thing about being, well, no longer living, is that you can experiment with a few things that were sort of off limits on the mortal plane. We've got all sorts of very, very fascinating recipes here that you won't find anywhere else. Here, let me get you a cocktail menu. Where'd they go? Here we are. Take a look at this and we'll see what sounds good, eh? Alright. Alright, here we are. This is our cocktail menu of all of the special drinks that we offer here. At least for this quarter. We change it every few months or so, just so people don't get tired of things. But some of these are favourites that will stick around, and then we'll get a few new ones. So what we like to do down here is quite a few of these drinks are actually based on drinks that you might find in the mortal realms, at least some of them. But here we add sort of a different ingredient to them to make them just a bit more special. Because, you know, you can't die again when you're down here. Like this one. This one's a good old classic that most of the old folks who come in here love. This one's called Old Lace, and it's got gin, sweet vermouth, lemon, and then arsenic. Now, obviously, if you were still living, arsenic would be quite detrimental to you. But down here, it's not going to hurt you at all. In fact, it's not going to even cause pain. Although it does have this very nice sort of burning, tingling sensation as it goes down the throat. So, that's quite a favourite, actually. We like to experiment with those sorts of things. Poisons, you may call them. Anyway, so that one's called Old Lace, because on my realm there's a play called Arsenic and Old Lace, so it's a play on that. Although if you're not from my realm, then it wouldn't really matter, but I think it's clever. Anyway, so you got that one, and then you got Hellhound's Breath down here. This is my personal favourite. I am definitely a fan of the black spiced rum that was one of my drinks of choice back on the other side. And then you got some chocolate, blood orange, and of course, sulphur. Appropriate for a hellhound, don't you think? Then of course we've got Medusa's Kiss over here, a nice green colour, and that one's got snake venom added in. And then we've got this one called the Undertaker. Now this one, it's made out of Rumpelminz and Jägermeister, and that together is quite a pungent shot from my realm. That's actually something that we call the Dead Nazi. And then down here we added formaldehyde to it. I don't know if you know what that is, but basically it's sort of an embalming sort of thing that's supposed to preserve a corpse, you know, make it so it doesn't rot so quickly and everything. So we call that one the Undertaker. And then we've got this Black Cat. This one's definitely a favourite down here too. You got the black vodka, cinnamon whiskey, so that's got a bit of that spiciness to it. Black cherries for a bit of that deeper sort of sweetness. And then some good old rat poison. I mean, it is a black cat, right? They're quite detrimental to your vermin like the rats. So now that's got almost sort of a little bit of a tangier kick to it. Yeah, it actually works quite well with the whiskey. It's an interesting flavour profile there, so definitely if you're interested, that would be a good one to try. That's either that one or the Hellhound are the ones that I tell newcomers to start with. And then of course down here we've got the Graveyard Shift. This one, it's just sort of fun. If you weren't someone who drank alcohol all that often, on the other side this one is sort of a fun one to start with. You've got the grape soda, so nice and sweet there, with some vodka, lemon, and then we put dry ice on the top, and a nice little shot of cyanide in there too. It's quite good actually. That one I've had. The younger crowd likes that a lot. Sort of one of those more fruity, fun sort of beverages. Anyway, so like I said, you wouldn't definitely want any of these if you were still living or anything, but down here when you're undead, it's got some perks, some things that you can try that you couldn't have before. So there you are. Like I said, you got a few exciting options that you don't have on the other side. Now, do any of those sound good to you? Oh, you're not so sure? Still taking it a bit hard being here, eh? It's understandable. There are those that take a bit of time to actually adjust to being here. Not a problem though. I think you'll find out pretty soon that there's actually quite a lot of benefits to living in a place like this. Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the best benefits is that you can reunite with people that you have lost on the other side, you know, in the mortal plane. Oh, sure. Did they not tell you that at the reception of the court before you left? Oh, yeah, no, you're welcome to look up any of the deceased that you may want to get back in contact with, and you can put in a request if they're in a different realm here, or they might even be in the same realm. There's a lot of sweet reunions that go around here. Also a few awkward ones, I suppose, when you're not expecting it. Although there's also sort of some poetic justice when you end up murdered on the mortal plane, and then your murderer ends up on the demon side of things. Just saying, it's quite beautiful, really. How did I... Alright, I know you're new here, so I'll entertain you, but just so you know, it's actually a bit rude to ask down here how you were knocked off in the other realm. Yeah, it's not something that most people really like to talk about. Here's the thing. Some people die, and they die well before their time, and so it takes some time to sort of get over the whole death thing and being on the astral plane. And then there are those that actually sort of lose their memory when they cross over from one realm to the other. And that can be actually a bit embarrassing. They don't know. So it can be a bit of an uncomfortable situation too. And then there are some people who, once they've adjusted to being here, they make lives here. And there's actually quite a lot of things that are better here than in the mortal realm, and they just don't really want to be reminded of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let's just best not to ask anyone else that, eh? Sort of rude. I mean, I know when you were going through maybe your medical inspection or whatever in the court, they maybe asked you that. That's just for their records. That's not something that we really care about down here, right? Okay. So, none of these drinks sound good, are you sure? Can't tempt you with a Medusa's kiss, perhaps? Not today. Well, is there something more normal that you might like? Like I said, I've got a decent selection of spirits and liqueurs from all over in the mortal plane. Oh, actually, I just got something in that's a bit special. What realm exactly did you come from? Okay, well, alright, you weren't from my realm. On my realm, back about 100 years ago or so, there was this big ship called the Titanic. And it was a feat of engineering. Yeah, a seafaring ship, that's right. Except it was all made of metal. I don't know how it is in your realm, but in our realm they were made of metal at the period of time. And the Titanic was absolutely huge. It was a luxury ship. And it was supposed to be unsinkable. Well, of course it sank. On its maiden voyage, no less. It was crossing the Atlantic Ocean and it hit an iceberg. And unfortunately, the way that it hit the iceberg, if it had just hit it head on, it may not have sank, but it actually sort of scraped across the whole side of the ship. And there were all of these different compartments in the bottom that were supposed to stop it from sinking, but almost all of them on that side got flooded, and then it was a lost cause. Quite tragic, really. There were, apparently they had quite a field day down here when that happened. Quite a lot of people died from that voyage. But another thing that was lost in that voyage, not just a whole lot of lives, but also there was a very, very impressive wine cellar on board that ship. And it was well enough protected that from the bit of research that people were able to do back in my realm, they found out that most of the bottles of wine down there are actually still intact. It's apparently the oldest wine cellar in my realm. Now, of course, it's also at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know how much you know about oceanography and this stuff, but at the bottom of the ocean, there's quite a lot of pressure down there. And so, in my realm anyway, we aren't so advanced that we're able to get down to the bottom of the sea. We can send some machines down there and things like that, but actually getting people down there to retrieve all of that wine, it's not really possible. However, if you're already dead and have, a bit of power in the mortal realm, say if you're, a lesser demon who happens to like the finer spirits in life, then it's really not a problem to head on down to the bottom of the sea, come back with a few choice balls. So I actually have, this is a bottle of Chianti from the Titanic, recovered by actually a friend of mine, a lesser demon. Yeah, he frequents this place now and then. The lesser demons, I know some demons give a bad name to all the rest of them, but the lesser demons actually aren't so bad. It's sort of the middle of the road powerful ones, because they're the ones who are always trying to claw their way to more power. But the lesser ones are actually quite nice sometimes. I mean, they still usually want something in return, but as long as you're okay and the deal is clear, it's usually all right. Anyway, so this is a bottle of Chianti from the lost, tragic ship of Titanic. Would you like a glass of that? You're not really into red wine. Well, you never had this before, have you? This is a once in a lifetime. Well, I guess not once in a lifetime because you're dead now, but this is rare even down here. You're not going to get this anywhere else. This isn't just your average bottle of wine. This is something special. You sure you don't want to give it even just a little taste? Good choice. I mean, I ain't trying to, pressure you into anything, but like I said, first drink's on me for all newcomers. Right. Get you a glass of this then. See how you like it. It smells excellent. There you are. I've never had something like that before. Not before dying, actually. It's funny, we undead, we don't necessarily have to eat or drink, so you'd think places like this wouldn't be able to, support themselves. But there's still quite a few people who enjoy indulging now and then. It's a bit more fun when you don't have to eat or drink, but you get to. You get to try all these sorts of new concoctions. I've had people who come in here just to see what sort of new cocktail menu we've got for the quarter, so they can try all of our different combinations of things. What'd you think of that? Good. It should be good, honestly. Amount of trouble that it took to get it. Anyway, you sit and enjoy that. You got any more questions or anything? Now you got your handbook for the recently deceased, right? When you were in the court of the undead. Good, glad to hear it. I mean, I know there's sort of a lot of information in there, so I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, but was there anything else specifically that you might need some help with? You'd like a map? Well, I'm sure there's plenty of maps in that guide, isn't there? Oh, you're looking for a map of the demon side of things. Why do you need something like that? You don't want to be going over there, love, I can tell you that. That's the side that's, well, all the not very nice places in the afterlife. That's where they are. And that's where the demons have full reign to do whatever they want to. We've got this side of things and we can sort of have a normal life in a normal society, but once you go over there, there's quite a few less rules. And most of the rules are, well, in favour of the demons, not in favour of protecting the undead, let's just say that. Do you know a demon or something that's over there? Oh, you think you might? Well, I suppose that changes things. I still wouldn't just go traipsing around the demon realm on your own looking for this person. But I suppose if you're curious, I think my demon friend may have left something here last time. He's always leaving stuff here. Honestly, I think it's almost on purpose sometimes. Let me see, just so he has an excuse to come back. Let me poke around a bit. I'll see if I can find it, alright? Alright. Found it. That's actually still in pretty good shape if you ask me. Yeah? Should be able to get you some places. Now I suppose it's not incredibly detailed. It's a map of the whole astral plane down here, so it's a bit small on some of those places, but you should be able to sort of find your way around. Would you like me to point out some places to you? Sure, not a problem. Here. Alright, so here we've got a map of the Astral Plane. Now right here we are over here in the Grey City. This is the court of the Undead, where all of the Undead first arrive to. You go through your whole orientation and the screening and all that sort of stuff. That's right in there. And now you're over here in the Grey City. This is actually where quite a lot of people live and honestly just stay here. It's actually a pretty nice city. It's set up similarly to, you know, sort of a small town that you might experience in some of the other realms. Or I guess maybe a bigger town where you're from, depending. But yeah, it's a nice city. It's got all your major amenities and quite a lot of people who are, you know, also dead. So, and then you go over here. This is the city of Voltar. That's quite a few other races like to live there. There's these things called orcs. We didn't have those in my realm anyway, but there's quite a few of them in other realms apparently. So that town is a bit I wouldn't say it's tough and like it's not nice, but it's all the brave warriors end up there really. Yeah, it's quite the adventurous people who want to get the most out of life, I suppose. Then over here you've got the fortress of Urkrid over here. Now he was a very powerful warlord from one of the mortal realms, and down here war doesn't really do anything, you know. You can fight a big old battle and then afterwards everyone just gets up and goes home. So fighting and all that doesn't really do anything. We don't die and we don't feel pain, so he's not necessarily what you'd call a warlord down here, but he's got his own sort of society over here. He likes to sort of flaunt his power. For the most part, I would say avoid him if you can, but he's definitely a character. I suppose if you are brave of heart and good with a sword, he would actually probably have use for you. Could be quite a lucrative life down here, if you like. And then over here, this is Gorleberg. It's another city. There are a few of the lesser demons who live here too, just fair warning. Although, like I said, over here on the undead side, they can't actually hurt us, so mostly they're actually rather friendly. They're happy to do little favours for people, as long as you offer them a favour in return. So that's an interesting little city there. Now this place is called the Waste for good reason. There's not a whole lot there. I'm not actually really sure what the story of that is, but you know, you can cross it without fearing of dying from starvation or, you know, dehydration or anything like that, because you can't die again. But not a place that most people like go to and stay. But now down here, this place is called the Forest of Murmurs, and that's a place that those crazy adventuring types love to go here. Lots of sort of quests and adventures and things that you can have in there if you'd like to, you know, test your strength or your willpower or anything like that. Quite a few adventures and quests. Now over here you've got the Fields of Asphodel. That's actually sort of boring in my opinion, but it's just sort of a place to chill. You know, there's not a whole lot going on, but not a whole lot bad going on either, you know. So if you just sort of need a mental break from everywhere else, it's a good place to go. Now, if you were thinking about going to the demon side, you're going to have to come up here. There's a ferry right here, and there's a lesser demon who works right there, and he ferries people back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all day. That's all he does. But you're definitely going to want to cross in the ferry, not anywhere else, because the water's right here, and this river up here, these are all the waters of, well, this sea is called the Sea of Forgetfulness. And it's called that because any touch of this water, anywhere on you, and you could completely forget all of your memories. Anything from the mortal realm and anything from down here too. It's there's actually, unfortunately, quite a few sad souls who go in there who just think life is too hard and they want to forget. But if you don't want to forget everything about yourself, completely avoid the Sea of Forgetfulness. So go in the ferry and stay away from the edge. Don't let yourself get splashed or anything, but that's really the only safe passage. I suppose there is a bridge down here if you wanted to cross through the whole Forest of Murmurs, but that would take quite a long time. So I would suggest the ferry over here. Oh, these? These are the Misty Isles. Honestly, I don't know all that much about them. From what I have gathered, that's where lots of those sort of strange and mythical, in my realm anyway, creatures live. And it's said to be rather dangerous. Of course, there's not any sort of boat that goes over here, so I'm not sure how anyone would find that out, really. If you get to the Misty Isles, you'd completely forget who you were. And if you decided to swim home, you'd completely forget about your time at the Misty Isles. So I think it's all just rumours, really. But anyway, I don't really see how you're going to be getting there. Anyway, so if you come up here, which is what I would suggest, cross over here at the ferry, then you're going to end up sort of close to one of the demon settlements over here. This is the Court of Demons, sort of like the Court of the Undead, except obviously for demons over here. And then there's the Forest of Torment here. That's one of those nasty places that people don't like to go unless they absolutely have to. You know what I'm saying? So I suppose if you have to cross that way, definitely stick to the path. You would not want to go into those trees, trust me. There's quite a lot of interesting things going on in there. Let's just say that. Then up here you've got the Citadel. That's where the Astral Goddess lives. So I would be surprised if a little undead like you would be able to gain any sort of audience with her. That's also where the most powerful demons live too, either there or around the court. The blue demons. They're sort of the Astral Goddess's right hand. So yeah, they're quite powerful though. I wouldn't think that any of them would want anything to do with any of us. And then of course you got Mount Sorrow over here, and you got the Sulphur Coast, the Cave of Whispers. That's just a whole bunch of demons who like to go in there and just be spooky. I don't know. I don't really understand it. Oh, and down here you got the Mushroom Forest. Now that place is very, very strange. The demons who live there, I don't think they're quite right in the head. But that would definitely be an experience. I'm not sure you get out of it, but you know. Oh, and then there's Nashvar. This is sort of the main city of the other demons. You know, the blue demons, there's not very many of them, but they live up here. All the other sort of red or the black shadow demons, they would live in this city over here. Oh, and then of course you got Arachnid Forest. What sort of underworld would it be if there weren't a bunch of big spiders, eh? And then down here, I actually don't know too much about these mountains. They're called the Ishtar Mountains. Apparently there are some ice demons who live down there. There's this nice cave too where there's supposed to be some sort of like a big old ice behemoth, but like I said, I've never been there and I wouldn't want to go there. But anyway. Oh, the Pit of Despair. Well, that's right smack dab in the middle, right here. Yeah, that's apparently the ugliest of the ugliest places, according to, you know, what the demons tell us anyway. Maybe it's just to scare us, but yeah, I would stay far, far, far away from that. Anyway, anything specific that you would maybe be looking for to find that friend of yours? You're not sure? Well, that's always a good start to an adventure, isn't it? Well, best of luck to you, I suppose. Hopefully if you if you get over to this demon side of things, you'll find some clues as to where you need to go next, eh? Yeah. So, there you have it. Like I said, unfortunately that one's not super detailed. Maybe once you get to the demon side you could find another one that was a bit more up close to where you're trying to go. But should at least get you pointed in the right direction. Yeah. Oh sure, you can take it. I don't have any need for this. I myself have never been to the demon side, and I never mean to go there. Like I said, that's where all those unpleasant places are that don't really interest me. Now, I've got other maps of, you know, the undead side. Quite a bit of fun to be had if you're into that sort of thing. I travelled around for quite a while when I first got here, you know, a couple decades ago, but I like the Grey City. I do. I like working here. I like this bar. I like getting to talk to people, hearing their stories, maybe helping out some new arrivals like yourself who seem a bit lost, just looking for a friendly face. First time though that I've ever had a new arrival so interested in getting to the demon side. Just saying. Oh no, it's fine. Your business is your business. But do take care of yourself, eh? Demons are, I mean, some of them aren't so bad, but they can definitely be quite slippery folk. Just saying. Alright, well, if you're the determined, then I suppose there's not much I can do to stop you. Don't have any right to, anyway. Well, you go ahead and finish that drink. Take all the time you'd like. If you'd like a refill, you will be paying for that one, you know. The first one's free on me, but after that, if you'd like to keep indulging, that's on your pocket. But if you don't need anything else, I suppose I should go around and see if any of these other lazy bums need anything. Yeah, you know how it is. Still the same on this side of things, just like it is on that side. Anyway, welcome to the land of the no longer living. I hope you find your place here. There really is a lot to offer. It's actually a nice place once you get used to it. So keep your chin up, eh? Watch your back when you're dealing with those demons. Alright, well, good luck. I'm afraid you're gonna need it.